Hey Taurus, welcome to your twin flame check-in video. I appreciate those of you who have stayed subscribed to me even though I haven't been producing. I've been going through my own healing journey. Thank you so much for the love and support. Those of you who watch consistently, those of you who are new, thank you for tuning in. As a thank you, I'm going to be including a part of the mini. I normally do like a certain I do so much and then I'll do an extended video that you can pay for, but I'm going to include a mini version of the extended version in with this reading just as a thank you for those of you who keep watching and who keep supporting. All right, so let's take a look at the current energy between the two of you. Very interesting. We have the woman holding a coin, okay? What came up automatically was the need for appearances. Like this is a woman who values money. Money allows you to look a certain way, or the illusion that things are a certain way in your life when they're not. I feel like it's more the masculine energy is struggling with this a little bit, more of a lesson. I feel like Taurus, the feminine energy in the connection went through this a little while ago, understanding that you don't need to be a certain way for people. And perhaps your masculine energy or the other person, because I tend to read for the divine masculine or feminine, I feel like maybe they're kind of going through that right now and recognizing that it's shallow. It's not actually paying them dividends like they thought it would, or bringing in what they thought it would. I should have prefaced at the beginning, I'm a little rusty. It is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Some of it might be for you, some of it might be for someone else. And the energy is interchangeable. You could be the feminine watching and you may relate to some of what the masculine's going through and vice versa. So keep that in mind as well, especially if you're balancing the feminine and masculine within you. Okay. All right. So let's kind of take a look at how the connection is affecting you at the moment. How is the connection affecting you at the moment? Interesting. We have the devil. Okay. So we have some attachments here. We have some codependency. I'm going to be very frank about this, and people are going to have their own beliefs, and it is what it is. We always deem things as human beings as good or bad. That's just how we were raised. That's the energy that we're taught to understand. That's how it all works. But nothing is truly good or bad until we make it good or bad. And sometimes, and I'm not going to condone codependency. I think we're all meant to be independent. But sometimes codependency in a twin flame connection forces you to face the things that will allow you to create your own independence, because codependency only exists when you're not feeling secure enough. So I know that there's so much shame around being codependent or attached to the outcome of with your twin, or being codependent on your twin in that way. But sometimes we need to be a certain way to get to where we need to go. Sometimes you have to have that attachment to an outcome as a catalyst to get you to a place where you don't need to rely on an outcome anymore. So I hope that makes sense. I really feel that's a powerful message. And if I can articulate it, or if it can come through again, I'll post it on my Instagram account. But I feel like it is coming up again for you, Taurus, but it's sort of an awareness around it for you. It's less of I'm hanging on to these things and they're out of my control, and more about, I recognize where my attachment is coming from and I'm appreciating it for what it's given me, because it's allowed me to heal. Okay, you're feeling less trapped by it and more empowered by it, I guess, is the energy that's coming through for me. All right, so let's take a look at where your twin is at right now. If their sign comes up, awesome. If it doesn't, don't take that as, you know, holier than thou, that it can only be this person. And especially if you don't know your twin's entire astrology chart, you may not know their rising sign, and we could be talking about that. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's take a look at a couple cards representing them right now. Interestingly enough, we have the Fool showing up. So we have someone who's wanting to embark on a new journey. We'll have to get a couple more cards just to see if this is in a state of ego, of being like, I have all the answers and I know everything, and not being open to learn or be excited about new things, or if they've genuinely shed that egoic. I feel like since they're shedding it right now, that's probably not the case yet, but let's see what else comes out. It is somebody wanting a new beginning though. Yeah, and then we have the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands is Leo energy, so they could have Leo in their chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. This is also someone who's being a little bit defensive. Like they want change, but they don't quite want to change themselves. Like they feel like everyone else should change around them, kind of a deal. And really, that's just like, I feel pressure at the back of my head right now. I just feel like that is legit just ego coming forward so they can deal with it. It doesn't make them a bad person or a hard person to deal with. It's just, you know, it's sort of like, well, I believed if I did things this way that I would get this in return, and I'm not getting this. And I'm not willing right now to go about things in a different way. So things are going to be they're going to be pressured a lot because they're resisting. There's a lot of resistance here. So what is on their mind right now? Okay, that's a little too many. We'll try that again. What is on their mind? Okay, yeah, we have the Wheel. We have some impatience happening. Not a huge surprise, but I will say the masculine energy and they mirror, right? So, and it's not to say it's your job to deal with this for them, because it's not. But energetically, if you are contributing to this situation in any way, if you have your own impatience, Taurus, it's going to manifest physically for the masculine. So keep in mind, you know, if you're feeling impatient about timelines, release it and let it go. I feel like success for them and appearing successful is really important. And it could be that they're being served up these lessons to realize that the appearance or how you appear to others isn't as important as how you appear to yourself. Because right now they're putting this pressure on themselves that if they don't look a certain way, or they don't, you know, they don't have this success to prove, that they're lacking. All right, what are they feeling in their emotions right now? Yeah, we have the Six of Coins. So we have this need to balance things out. Emotionally, they could be very much out of balance, because as you know, when you are not in balance with your emotions or in alignment with your true self, things get a little bit unbalanced. And anytime our ego serves as the driver of your bus, you're going to be unbalanced. And I think ego is important. I think ego is healthy. I think it helps us in a lot of ways, but it needs to be an equal to our higher self and not just at the forefront. Okay. All right. How are they viewing you and the connection right now? Very interesting. We have the 2 and 3 of Wands. Okay. So when I see the 2 and 3 of Wands, I feel like this is an energy of a decision has been made, and you're waiting for your ship to come in. It's also Aries energy. So you could have Aries in your chart or have the characteristics of an Aries on occasion, being that you are so close in the Zodiac wheel. It's not surprising if you did. The struggle with us thinking that, okay, there's a key here, there's 2 chests. I've picked a key, I've put it in the lock. I'm waiting for the chest to open. You're waiting for your ship to come in. But you're still waiting. It's almost like there's still a part of you, especially with the Devil showing up here, that's waiting for them to validate the progress you've been making. And I just feel for a lot of you, this isn't a very dominant energy. This is sort of this little niggling in the back of your mind. That's sort of being like, well, if you're making progress, why aren't they? Why can't you see the progress you're making, right? It's those little snippets of your own ego that are coming forth. So, but I feel like a lot of you have done a lot of work around that, and you're able to see things and shift things accordingly, okay? So it's not really, it's just sort of like, it's almost on an energetic level, their higher self can feel you waiting for them to respond. And the difficult part is that some of you are just going to have to accept your own version of how much work you've done and appreciate yourself for that regardless. And then when it comes in, because you know on a very deep level it's going to come in, even if it's not on your agenda or to your schedule, it'll be a bonus, right? That's kind of how you want it to be. So we're going to shift the energy a little bit into the extended version part. We're going to look at hidden factors, blockages being removed, lessons being learned, how they want to move forward, and guidance on what you can do right now to move yourself forward. All right, so we'll pull these. I kind of shuffled them a little bit already, but all right, so let's take a look at some hidden factors here between the two of you. Yeah. We've got some cycles ending. We have the World card here. There could be a little bit of distance between the two of you. Maybe you don't live in the same place. And I'm also hearing distance and separation, right? We know that this happens for a reason. I know a lot of times and then we have divine timing on the bottom. Thank you. We know it's all divine timing. We kind of get sick of hearing that. But I feel like I don't think we realize what these feelings would be like if we were face to face with our twin all the time, or we were in a relationship with them and going through these things. We have to build the kind of solid foundation that it doesn't matter what happens energetically or emotionally between the two of you, that you're not going to break down your foundation. You're going to be able to be stable through it and handle it, and it'll be less of a very deep wound and more of a disagreement or more of an understanding in a conversation, right? It's not going to be this, it's forcing the two of you to release all of those expectations of, this is my person and I expect them to behave differently than anyone else has ever behaved towards me, kind of an energy. All right, so what blockages are being removed? Yeah, we have judgment. Yeah. So the fear of judgment of others, judging ourselves, judging each other. Okay. So judging you guys, judging each other, judging your own selves, judging the connection, judging the actions and choices. There's lots of judgment here that's being, it's really being removed because it's a blockage. Anytime you judge, you create this energetic block between the two of you because you're then assuming you're separate. Okay. All right. Lesson being learned. Yeah. So we have, interestingly enough, the 5 and 6 of Pentacles. I think it's very interesting that this has happened a couple times here today where we've had like the 2 and 3 of Wands and the 5 and 6 of Pentacles. And I shuffle my decks really well. So I know that they're, and I mean, these are well loved and well used. They didn't just come out of the pack like this. I hear when I noticed that again, I heard very clearly where one steps, the other follows. And it's a very quick succession for your connection. Some connections take months to follow suit. This particular connection though, wherever you're stepping feminine, the masculine is stepping right behind you. Okay, so it's the concept to kind of keep moving. But the lesson here, so we have the 5 of Pentacles, which is kind of abandonment. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles again, which is that balance, like that balancing of everything. When something is out of balance, you're going to feel it energetically. So I feel like you're being made to experience these things so you can recognize where they're coming from and you can handle them. 5 of Pentacles also represents old wounds. And there is nothing more definitive about a twin flame connection than that of old wounds rearing their ugly head. Your twin will mirror those old wounds back to you. And I feel like, although I feel the masculine is dealing with things in a very different way because they're not as tuned into the connection as the feminine, okay? They're still experiencing these old wounds and healing them, much like you are, okay? All right, so how do they want to move forward? Well, very interestingly, we have the Three of Wands, okay? So we have this energy of, this is what I want to manifest, and this is what I want my abundance to come in. I'm going to be very honest with you, Taurus. I'm not sure I'm not sure the physical you is connected to that abundance yet. I think they're still very much in an egoic state of being their abundance, being their financial wealth and status, okay? And I know, and I'm feeling like a lot of anxiety in my chest. I don't feel it's yours. I feel the universe is putting pressure on the masculine to release that because it's old, okay? I do feel for some of you that when they're broken down, you're going to be this thought that pops into their head and being like, you know what, this person is someone who might be able to help me move through this energy. And they're going to contact you on that, okay? But at this moment in time, they're not quite there yet. And it's not for you to take that personal and think it's anything you haven't done to do enough work, because you are. They wouldn't be in the state that they're in where they're feeling pressure from being in their ego state if you hadn't done your work, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, so let's take a look at guidance on what you can do to move forward right now in your own way. Ha ha ha. Time out. Okay, I feel like you got this kind of in your daily read, Taurus, where you do work hard, but everything is so serious for you. When was the last time you did something fun just to have fun? You know, to be like, you know, I want to go and jump in puddles, or I want to go, you know, we always think, okay, I'm going to go for a walk in nature and I'm going to connect to Mother Earth and I'm going to really ground myself, but there's so much purpose there, but there's you enjoy it, but there's not joy in it. You know, when was the last time you just danced to your favorite song? And I feel like it's time to take a time out from working so hard at things. Take a day to yourself and do nothing. Watch your favorite TV show. Hang out in your jammies. I don't know, whatever it is that sparks joy for you in the moment. It's time to just release purpose. Just do whatever you want for whatever reason you want to do it, because I feel like you're not balancing out enough of your own well-being. That everything you do doesn't have to have a specific meaning for your journey. Okay. All right, we'll pull one more card. We'll pull an angel card. Let's see what the angels, okay, well, we'll take, there was like 4 of them, so we're just going to take one. This one. Okay. Awakening. Look at things from a different perspective. A temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So I think it's very interesting that this card comes up and it speaks to both of you, because it talks about the importance of being yourself and not needing to be someone people want them to be, right? Or they think people want them to be. So this is kind of like the Hanged Man energy. And it's asking both of you in a way, looking at different things to change judgment, to release your judgment, to shift your perspective about how you see things. And a temporary standstill. It's asking you again to take a time out from all of this and just be. Just be whatever it is that you need to be, because your soul needs a rest too. And your mind needs a rest. And your body needs a rest. Okay? And your heart needs a rest. And it doesn't actually affect your momentum. It doesn't set you back, okay? It actually continues to move you forward in a much more healthy way. So I hope that this has helped. Be your peace, love yourself, share your light, and have an amazing day. If this has resonated, please like, share, comment, and or subscribe.